Hello,
Okay,
hello,
cool.
hello, and welcome to the new episode of Tech Fusion AI, GPU and Beyond. Today, I have Brandon Murphy with me, who is the co founder of Deep Link and pretty closely working with DBC. And so glad to have you on the show today, Brandon.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. How you been since the last time
And
I saw you? Last time I saw you was in Consensus.
yeah, so last time I was in Kansas and I was trying to relay the same conversation how Sferon has changed and in a good way because at
Yeah.
that time we at consensus as we were focused to get more people around CPU usage, we did get a lot of people utilizing our GPUs as well, and we kind of positioned ourselves in the market where we became a robust GPU player itself. So that's what has been going on for so long. And I really appreciate you coming to the show today. And this is a very laid back show. Like the whole concept of show is to speak about AI, but to actually tell what you have been building and how things are doing, and not be like the reason we do this and the reason we are very open to everybody on the show is to be have more candid yet conversations which are focused on actual building and actual scaling different type of products which are into this space, because we are battling a space which has a lot of noise, a lot of vaporware, a lot of things which are around which which consumates a lot of energy of even for the retail, even for the people who are following this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it.
So
Um, I'm here for the laid back vibes, I think we need that. We don't have to be so uptight and serious all the time and still do great things, right? So I think it's a great opportunity to be alive. It's a great opportunity to be in a position to be builders, investors, advocates of Web3 technology and cryptocurrency, and just building on the third layer of the internet. So I'm happy to be here talking with you, and I'm looking forward to the conversation today.
absolutely. And whenever deep link comes into my mind, like there is something which is very interesting on the landing page. I can see that there are two images where there is a game going on at one place, and it is one is at some distance that there is other game going on at some distance. So I want to know more how Deep Link is resolving a lot of issues on the decentralized internet, how it's utilizing decentralized compute, and what's the whole idea around Deep Link? Like what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, yeah, I mean, firstly, the first thing that comes to my mind is to allow gamers worldwide to be able to access high quality AAA blockchain games and games with low latency issue, and giving them the ability to play these games no matter what device they hold. Because, like you're solving a problem, and Deep Link is solving the problems of billions of gamers worldwide who don't have the ability to play these high-end games with the devices that they hold. So Deep Link is essentially leveraging the playing field for gamers all over the world to play these high-quality AAA games, blockchain games with devices such as an old cell phone, you know, and they can still play this high-powered game with the same ability that the person with the latest device could be a top-notch Apple computer, right? And same thing, it's seamless. So we're solving the issue to which is also occurring with this paradigm shift that is happening in the gaming industry, because everything is essentially moving to the cloud, right? Even when you talk about video on demand, we're cloud on demand. So you can think about we're cloud games on demand. So if you think about Netflix or Amazon Prime, Deep Link is the Netflix for games on the cloud side. So we're currently Deep Link softwares. We've surpassed a million global game users. You know, we have partnerships and relationships with some of the major Korea and esports cafes and hotels. So we're here for the gamers. We're going to be that place because of the paradigm shift and because of this whole physical world merging with the digital world. People are going to need outlets. And the outlet that we're finding most is right here on this cell phone. People want to play these games here, but they need a place to be able to do it in a decentralized way. And Deep Link is here to serve that need.
And do you really feel that the as you said that the paradigm shift is completely on something which is taking from high end PCs to any level devices like low level devices and AAA games coming to that. But there are many titles which are into Web 2, which are still very much dependent on high end machines, and which are like, if I really think of it, like if I say that big game engines like Unreal Engine or stuff like that are really dependent on very high end machines.
Right.
And also there are literally many PlayStation, uh, I think PlayStation specific or console specific games. Do you think they would be moving a stance to like implementing such technology in future, and if yes, like at what scale and extent that could happen? Because what Deep Link is doing really solves the issues for a lot. I remember my days of, believe me, like I was a gamer from heart, but I never had the configuration to play those things. And believe
I'm the
me,
same
the
way.
things I've done to game is insane. Is it's like I would not say it on a live stream, but yeah, yeah. But
I
my
thought this
mom used
was
to have
laid
a
back.
like I remember. So like I'll tell you a small story. So I used to wake up at 4 a.m. to play games on a server which is based on US based servers, because I used to live in India. And US based Call of Duty players were way better than Indian players. So I used to practice with them. Now the problem was that I used to play a machine with my dad's machine, like his office machine, and he used to go to office at 7 a.m. So I could not game like once he's gone. So I used to wake up at 4 a.m. And I used to sleep in school because I I was so busy gaming on the light. I remember the time of Max Payne 3. Like Max Payne 3, just like it came out of nowhere and it blew in where I used to live. Like everybody wanted to play Max Payne 3. And apparently my system never supported Max Payne 3. So I was
Mm.
so much into like, so I literally this
Crush
is
your
fucking
gaming
stupid.
dreams.
Yeah, this is so fucking stupid, man. Like I sold my bicycle for a strip of 8 GB RAM and it didn't run still. Like I lent it to somebody. I have gone places to play games. But seriously,
Well,
Deep Link would have been.
imagine if Deep Link was there during that time. And
Yeah,
that's the important thing, man. You know, you said something there earlier. If these companies are going to be using tech like this, and absolutely, you know, because some of our target customers are AAA game companies. We're helping them convert the AAA games into cloud games, which allows the AAA games to run on a low end device, as you mentioned, including mobile phones, which is increasing the user base. Because we know everything is moving to the cell phones. So also internet cafes, you know, those are some of our clients in these esports hotels, places where, you know, we're helping the industry shift because they need to have their games
exactly.
available for the masses at hand, you know, especially in
Yeah,
the emerging markets. And that's why decentralized technology and crypto is such an importance, because what it's doing is it is globalizing the world and connecting it. We're all
yeah,
interconnected beings initially, right? But decentralization is opening that up and making it real. Because I'm talking to so many people in parts of the world that I would never have spoken to, had it not been for crypto and blockchain technology. And I'm sure you can attest and say the same things, right? So,
absolutely. I
this
think
is
I
a
feel there are two major things which will bring crypto primarily to end-to-end consumers. One is gaming, and other one is definitely going to be DeFi for sure. Like these few
yes.
things are something which is need of the hour, and people do not understand the power they withhold specifically from gaming. They do not understand how much they can affect the masses, especially from, like, for example, even if you say that something becomes a community, right? Like a meme coin community, or a game specific community, or a anime inspired community, or anything like that. But this is how it starts. Like, this is how it initiates. Like, because at the initial, there should be a piece of art form which can be replicated into multiple sub descendants of meme coins or memes or stuff like that, which creates more around the culture. I think what Deepling is trying to do is very important for the whole Web3 as a culture itself, if you think about it.
100%, 100%, because we could be that backbone infrastructure for all games to thrive within this ecosystem. And like, as you mentioned, even DeFi. So I personally believe, the top sectors will be AI, uh, gaming, and DeFi. So you merge all those things together, it's changing the way humans interact for life, forever. And I'm always a big advocate for the big picture and the vision of the future. And a lot of people are not aware that the future is now. The opportunities at hand are larger than what people may perceive because of all of these narratives that are being put out there, which are designed really to keep people off track and away from the important things, like
Yep.
Cephron and Deep Link or Deep Brain Chain, projects that are beacons who have been staples here and will continue to thrive going forward. But yeah, gaming is where it's at, man. Personally, we're moving into a gamified world. So why wouldn't games be on the forefront? And I don't think people are truly aware of how many people play games, how the gaming industry is continuing to grow over time, year by year, how esports is bigger than the entertainment industry and sports collectively. And we still haven't even touched the iceberg yet. So as we continue to move forward, it's opportunities like Deep Link and that will help sustain and keep industries thriving, especially in the gaming world, because we're the only cloud gaming protocol that is decentralized, built on blockchain, and what that
Yep.
does for everybody within the ecosystem, whether it be B2B or B2C, the cost of these things goes down tremendously. Plus, we also are incentivizing our users in the ecosystem to earn rewards within our ecosystem. You can't get
Exactly. I
that.
was coming to this, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think
Just
there is something which is you guys are doing where people have a reward structure for running deep linked nodes, and to become part of the community. Like, how does that work? Like, what's behind that? If you can explain
well,
us more about it and elucidate.
yeah. Well, I mean, so basically this. So I'll tell you how the nodes in it works, how people can make money. So essentially, you're able to purchase our nodes. Firstly, we have a node sale going on. Let me start there with that. And you're able to go and purchase this software, and you're able to run these nodes, and it contributes to our ecosystem. But let me talk to you first a bit about how the DPIN and AI come together, and I'll move on to that. But basically, we're a decentralized AI cloud gaming protocol with a token deflation business model. So when users rent our GPUs in the Deep Link network to play games, they need to also pay with DLC, which is our native token, to a smart contract. That contract gets destroyed, and now the GPU providers receive DLC rewards. These GPUs are provided by the miners worldwide, which constitutes as DPIN, decentralized physical infrastructure. So the AI technology comes into play which enhances the gaming experience with high definition graphics by predicting the image quality and rendering detailed graphics through our AI resolution tech. So our core tech is the AI piece, and then our also our low latency. But essentially, basically you purchase these software nodes, and it helps decentralize our network. And because of that, you're running your node, and you're also earning residual rewards. So basically, you can earn
So
up to, yeah. Sorry.
how does liquidity works in this? So for example, if I am somebody who's leasing out the GPU from from Deep Link, and as the provider, my liquidity is tied to the DLC token itself. Like, who is maintaining the liquidity? Is Deep Link maintaining the liquidity in this, or are the providers which are responsible for this, they maintain it, or the users? Like, how does the marketplace actually works? Like, how does it
Well,
operates?
yeah. Well, Deep Link is the core infrastructure, right? Built on top of Deep Brain Chain. So you have Deep Brain Chain contributing the GPUs to the network, uh, which also is contributing some liquidity, but also Deep Link itself is contributing liquidity. Basically, the participants who want to be in the ecosystem, they're either going to contribute their GPUs, which earns them rewards through our DLC token. Of course, there's a separate basket of DLC tokens just solely set aside for these participants who want to help sustain the ecosystem. And then the people who buy the software nodes, if you want to participate that way, then you're able to earn the token reward based on how many nodes are running at that time, and it could be upward to 1 million tokens. So this liquidity is already set aside for these purposes, if that makes sense.
Okay, understood. So it's mostly a self-sustaining marketplace where people can utilize it. And you mentioned that it is, once I utilize it, the smart contract burns DLC. So is that somewhat tied to slashing because of the usage, or because of me entering the network again and doing something else? Like, why does that happen?
Well, yeah, that happens because of we have a deflationary model. So as you interact within the ecosystem, whether it's purchasing cloud gaming time or contributing to the network by buying or selling certain things, all of this is going to be used to slash the tokens in the smart contract.
Because
So
of the limited supply.
the limited supply, correct. Of course, supply and demand is going to play a factor. So, correct.
Yeah.
So over time, we have right now we have a large supply, but over time it will decrease because, as we say, as we project to the future, you know, we believe that people are going to be playing games more and more often. Also, they're going to want to be incentivized by playing these games, and you know, we also know that, and we got a glimpse from Axie Infinity that people can actually uh, help sustain their lives or change their lives through opportunities like this. So the deflationary model is important because it helps the price, right? Not that that's important, but it is important in the long term. So we want to incentivize and help users earn, but also create a sustainable ecosystem that can last for a lifetime.
Understood. So that's also a way to understand the governance itself, because if it is not defined in a way which is not beneficiary for the community or people who are utilizing it or even using it, it the spread cannot be taken as something which is useful for everybody. Like, the utility gets low, and uh, which can actually lead to things which are like, how would a protocol handle that? But there are few things which I am very interested about. Like, how does Deep Link handle the security part? Like, does it take the complete machines? Like, for example, if I'm leasing out a machine through Deep Link and I want to go ahead and play a AAA game, am I literally going and leasing out the whole machine? Like, do I have the access of the whole machine, or do I have the access of a VM, or how does that happen? Like, if I am utilizing it for specifically just for gaming, like,
So you're asking if you're just utilizing it for gaming,
yeah,
what are you actually lending out?
yeah. Like,
Your
for example,
GPU. Yeah.
so it only utilizes the GPU, like, for because like the same can be accessed for data training as well, like for for modeling or for anything which requires GPU apart from gaming. That's somewhere which I feel that there is a possibility, because Spheron is trying to work on top of that, and whatever machines which are utilizing Deep Link as a remote machine, would can they be also used for data training, data modeling, and stuff like that?
Yes, it can be used for that. Not to say that we're utilizing it for that, but it can be used for that. So
And like,
yeah.
Deep Link gets the access of the whole system, or just the some specific environment on the system?
So let me say this. So the types of just so you can understand, so that we have personal GPU machine miners, and then we have the CPU traffic miners. So um, I can't really answer that specific question that you're asking because it's a little above my pay grade. But the more network users DeepLink has, the more network traffic and the computing power it requires. So that leads to the need for CPU traffic machines and GPU computing machines that provide the infrastructure for the DeepLink network. So that's how we're achieving the decentralized the decentralizing of the network. But in order to when we're using the remote uh, gaming, we don't require too much from the user other than some compute power, and if they choose to, you know, uh, give some GPUs to the ecosystem, if that makes sense.
Understood. You must be thinking that I said that it's going to be a laid back conversation, and then I'm going to then I am throwing you curveball, one curveball, and
No, no,
another
I mean
curveball after that.
it's all good. That that's why we asked for questions in advance, and I got them like maybe 2 hours. I don't know, not too long ago while I was sleeping. So yeah, but it is what it is.
So I am not going to throw more curveballs, but it's good to have like an understanding of how tech has been working around it, and also what you guys have been doing is pretty neat of the hour. Like, that is something which is like how much we portray and we make people understand that how much it's required, and in what sense it is going to change the industry, right? Because if you started as one of the companies, like, I see that you guys have worked immensely on latency, and to handle latency at that scale is something everybody is working on right now, like
Yeah.
that, and also how user friendly it is. Like, that is somewhere I feel that's something which is very important for this space. What do you feel about that?
100%.
Like, the
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. The latency issue is one of our core technologies, and you know, I don't think I run into projects all the time that they say that they have mastered that, and I don't see it. And we have it. We can, this type of technology can help robots, act and be fluid in conversation immediately. So I think
yeah.
anybody who's looking for the latency issue to so that they can add it to their project or whatever enhancements they need, I think we can help with that for sure. Because it's a hard thing to achieve, and it is important going forward as we move across. the world in many different areas, not just Web3, right? But I feel
Yeah,
like Web3 has brought upon a lot of different technological evolvements since 2009, the advent of Bitcoin. And it will only happen. So this is just another piece of the puzzle that can be utilized, and it'll incentivize many other businesses in sectors within Web 2 and crypto. So I'm not sure if Saffron needs, that latency issue solved. But if so, well, there's a point of integration right there.
absolutely. Because I think there is something which is very interesting and that I wanted to tell you about is what we are trying to do with Fizz nodes. And the beauty of Fizz node is that anybody with a gaming machine or a Mac machine can connect to the network. So let's say if I have a gaming laptop or a GTX 3090 or GTX, or let's say I have a Mac, right? I can go ahead and connect my machine on Spheron. And what you can do is that you can give one workload to Fizz, like to the Fizz node, and it is really cheaper than any other for like from leasing out any other 4090s or M2 machines or anything you want to lease out. You cannot lease out an M2 machine easily. So it's that simple. Like I would love your review on that. And as you guys are specifically working on the latency part, and that is somewhere you guys can come in and play a big role onto that because there are so many nodes being connected, and there is no cost to connect these nodes. And the only reason we have kept it community specific and people to just go ahead and connect their nodes is to make it more inclusive for everybody. So let's say like today you want to go ahead and lease out a 4090, right? If you go in the market, it is absolutely, I think it's around $0.21 per hour. And if you want to go ahead and lease out from Spheron in this case, it comes to less than, like, it creates your cost less than $0.14 per hour. Like that's minimum. Like it can go lower than that as well. Like that is something which we have been working on. And I feel whatever this industry really provides us, like specifically from nodes, is to and that's what I like about Deep Link as well, that I was going through the significance of the node in the whole gaming industry and how you guys are handling the payout and everything. It's very streamlined. It's good to see uh, this. Like, what's on Deep Link's roadmap in following years? Like, following months, not years. You cannot speak years in crypto. So, what's what's the roadmap in in your mind? Like, what do you think is the next thing that is coming up on Deep Link?
Yeah, so currently the next thing is we have airdrops going on. Uh, Especially, you can go and vote right now at Bybit for us to be listed there. But we
Okay,
have
let me
many
do that.
airdrops. Yes, we have an airdrop going on with community VC bigger than race. So there's a $10,000 airdrop going on this week that will be announced. We have our node sale is currently live. We've sold out of the first three tiers, I believe, and we have some more tiers. And the beauty about these nodes is we made it fair. We didn't outprice the masses. So we want everybody to be able to afford and participate in these nodes and earn these deep link rewards. It's one of the best opportunities out here right now. So we're focusing on our node sale, but we're also preparing for our TGE, which could come at any point. Let's just say November, December. It depends on the
Post
market, right?
election.
Post election, yeah, post election. But
Post election
TGE
can
is,
be a wave, like, like it's so skeptical right now because, like,
yes,
it can be a wave and it can be a whirlpool. So like
100%.
many
I
mixed
don't think.
feelings.
Yeah, I mean, there's no clear direction where the market is going, right? So everybody's on standstill, and a lot of different projects had hopes of TGing a lot sooner, but there's
Yeah.
other factors at play here that we have to also adapt to. So just know, anybody out there that's waiting on TGEs, no projects are looking for the best opportune time to make it happen. So it benefits everybody. So we're just playing it by ear, but we're anticipating November for the
Does that experience come from running a VC arm as well? Because I think we met under the umbrella of the VC arm itself. So does that come from that experience?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I use my experience from life, right, to play in many different parts of what I have going on. But yeah, I mean, that experience comes from being in a VC, because I talk to these projects all the time, and we understand, and we've invested in a lot of projects, and we're all waiting, we're waiting, waiting, waiting. So, but if you look at it like this, and this is just to speak to other people that are investors in crypto, sometimes we get spoiled in this market, and you may experience a TGE right after an investment, right?
Yeah.
So those moments are, are not consistent. They happen once in a blue moon, and when it happens,
Yeah.
good, you take advantage of it. But if you equate this to investing in the traditional world of investing, it takes 5 to 6 years almost to even see a return, even if you're gonna even get one. So crypto investing is way better. Things happen at a faster rate, but it still requires some patience. So if you're patient enough and you understand where the world is moving, you'll do like we do. You get in early, which is the best place to be, and just wait in the end zone with me while I'm dancing. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful time to be in this space, man. There's so much opportunity if people could really understand what the opportunity is at hand, and we just try to help people realize that potential, because I think there's a lot of great projects that go overlooked, all because people don't take the time to investigate truth on their own terms.
And what was your starting point in crypto? Like, what was your like? Okay, this is for me, and I'm going to do this. Like, when did that happen? Like years
Oh,
ago?
that yeah, that happened in 2016, where I was selling life insurance at the time, and I walked into a Starbucks, and a guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, my friend, do you know about Bitcoin?" I was like, "What? Bitcoin?" I said, "No, I don't know about it." But he took me over to his computer, and we had a talk. He showed me, at the time, this was Bitmart,
Yeah.
and it was all red and green. I was just like, I don't know what this is, but I just shunned it off. And the next week, another incident happened where I was invited to a community group where I've always gone on Sundays, and they had a crypto company speaking. From that moment, that lady that I saw, I know she was a scam, but she knew how to sell the opportunity. And she sold it to me and helped me see the future of technology
Yeah.
and the internet. And from that moment, I was always looking for something that I can hold and have as mine, that nobody
Yeah.
can dangle over my head. And I made crypto that. And I saw that I could change my life through crypto. I did. And I helped, and I'm helping continuously help other people change their lives through cryptocurrency, by owning and understanding that we have an opportunity at our hands, the same like they did in the 1900s, where they could own and invest in the infrastructure of the economy that we once know now. But this time, we're able to invest on the third layer of the internet, which is Web3, and we can own the digital infrastructure of the new economy that's merging from the physical to the digital. So for us, we've just been helping people realize the opportunity and get in position early, And I wanted a VC arm to do that so that we can actually have a seat at the table. Because if you
Yeah.
don't know people or you don't have enough funds to get in early, then you'll never be able to do it. So we wanted to do it with a like-minded community, and we're looking for more members who are also looking for these opportunities because we wanted to get into Saffron, and I don't know what happened. You went ghost on me until now. So
No, see, we rekindled that conversation, and we are back. And
okay, good.
so, yeah, that's how things are. Like things things can go down and then always float back, and we are happy to float this back. And I just I when it ringed me, like when we were connected with the DBC team, and they were telling, I think it's Brandon, and it just ringed me that I'm connected to him on Telegram. Like I should directly message him, and I
Yeah.
did. And amazing work, Brandon, what you have been doing so far with
Oh,
Deep Link and in the community itself, and how you got started. Like this really puts on to the point, like why we really do it, right? All this technology and to have around, and you had your Eureka moment back in 2016, and that was, wow, that was a great time to start.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
absolutely.
No,
Like my first Eureka moment came very late. It came in 2022, like when everything was at its height, like everything was
wow.
peak bull. I joined on the bull wave. I still have Solana at, like, I don't know, at a very high price, man. So
It's
like
all good. It's all good. But you know what? You know what the importance is that I hear in your voice that I don't hear in a lot of others that have had
yeah,
that incident is you're still positive. Your
yeah.
attitude is the most important thing in regards to attracting what you're looking for in crypto. And people don't really understand that. This is a 90% spiritual game, 10% physical. And you've mastered that positivity. I've been seeing you laugh since consensus, you know?
So I super super bullish on on being happy
Yeah.
from now. So
No, that's a
yep, I'm
blessing, man.
gonna.
So I'm happy to hear that, although you've invested at the height, you're still taking advantage of what the market is giving you. And I think there's plenty of opportunities for people out there, even if you're in Prakash's shoes, where you might have come in at 2022 and experienced that big drop. You got to do what you got to do. We all go through
Yeah,
it, right? So
absolutely, man.
as long as you pick yourself up and dust your shoulders off, you can still make it. And it seems like you guys are doing just that.
Absolutely. Let's rekindle the conversation what we left off. Also, so there is this special thing about this episode. It's AI, GPUs, and beyond. So we ask a beyond question, and beyond can be anything. Beyond can be next 5 years, or beyond can be next 5 months. Because specifically speaking of for GPU, specifically speaking for AI as a space, what do you feel that in next 5 months or 5 years the whole space is going to be like? What's your feeling? Or you're a very positive person, I also can sense that, but what do you really feel like in 5 months or 5 years what things are going to look like?
So yeah, I predict that the market is going to go up. I mean, because there's already been major events that have happened, um, which was the biggest halving, and shortly after that, there's a down moment, and then there's always an upward trend. But if you look at the macro things that are happening in just in general in the US as well, all signs are leading to a positive bull run in the crypto market. So even with this election, so I see that we're going to go up soon. When? We don't know. October, November, it could happen. And some even say quarter one. But over the next 5 months, I see us going up, and then and beyond. Personally, by 2030, even sooner, by 2027, I think we're going to see a lot of shifts and changes within this space continuously happening, and I think we're going to see a lot more adoption of the tech being integrated with many enterprises. I mean, they're already integrated. Technology is being used right now around the world, wherever you go. Blockchain is being used. People just don't see it because they're not supposed to see it. Just like you don't
Yeah.
see what happens when your oil change is happening. We don't care about that. We just want the car to go and drive, right? So same thing that is happening right now. Oil changes are happening. They've been happening since 2009, right? Um, but we're going to start to see more and more things come to life in regard to the evolution of technology. And I think the crypto market is only going to continue to go up. I predict by 2030, I mean, this market should be at 50 trillion. I don't see why it can't be. You know, we're just touching the iceberg. We're 18 months into the actual growth market of AI. And look what has happened since then. You know, my community has
Yep.
been in a lot of these AI projects before anybody was talking about them. Now everybody's talking about them. So there's going to be a lot more growth in these sectors in regard to AI, DeepIn, gaming, cloud compute, different things of that, because these are things that are going to be heavily used in the world that we're moving into. So I personally just see nothing but upside. And if you're buying the right things, looking at companies the right way, because people just think these are projects, right? But these are new
Yeah.
companies. These are companies. These are real companies, startups, right?
Emerging.
Some may
Yeah.
be further along than others. But
Exactly.
I just see massive growth happening in this space. And I'm bullish. I don't care what happens in between because anything is going to happen. Your girlfriend might break up with you. You might get food poisoning, but I'm still bullish.
Yeah, that's a good perspective to keep. That things can happen bad, but hopefully these companies are really turned into, yeah, the next segment of pioneering companies are with us. We just have to open our eyes and see it. And
100%.
thank you so much, Brandon, for being today here on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
We could have messaged you a bit earlier that it is going to be a video show and questions would have been sent before. But I think this will be ironed out in our next call, how you guys are pitching in Sferon. So,
Of course.
yeah,
Yes, yeah. No, that can definitely be answered on the next call. Not an issue there. But it's all good, man. It happens. Life
yeah.
happens, you know. I just like to be prepared the best I can be, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, because luckily,
Absolutely, man.
I was already prepared. You know what I'm saying? So we're good. But yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, you have a great background. I and you're pretty like dripped up for this specific show because I think I host these, but I never look this good. So yeah, kudos to you, man, for looking best
Uh,
on this show up till until now. Believe me, you can
I,
watch all the shows before, but yeah, you kind of won the best dripped project till
I,
now. So yeah,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But let's say we win this next voting on Bybit. So go and vote for that. We'll distribute the links accordingly. You can also go and visit our X profile. You'll see the link there. But Google Deep Link Cloud and go and download our wallet so that you can get acclimated with our ecosystem. Also, check out the node sales because this is going to be a great opportunity for you to get in as early as possible, contribute to the network, but also earn DLC daily. So who wouldn't want that? But I appreciate this call. I appreciate your time. It was a great conversation, great laughter. So I thank you for doing what you do and staying positive out there. Uh, since I saw you in consensus, but I look forward to following up with you and seeing how we can integrate somehow.
absolutely, man.